Welcome to the first episode of I Know What You Watched Last podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Tess.
And I'm Alex.
And today we are going to be talking about forbidden fruits. But before we dive into that, what have you been up to? What have you been watching?
Ooh, great question. What have I been watching? I've been doing a lot of TV lately.
I haven't.
I've been watching Hacks, new season, final season just came out. So funny, so good.
I don't even know what that's about.
It's so good. It's like Gene Smart's just this huge comedian who kind of just has a residency in Vegas, but had this long life dream of being on late night, and then she takes on a new fresh writer, and it's just like a whole kind of journey of how that unfolds. It's so funny though.
I saw Trisha Paytas was on it. I'm seeing it on TikTok.
Oh yeah, I guess that was this last episode. I haven't seen that one yet.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. And Euphoria. I decided to dive in, and we've done the journey thus far. I want to finish it out and just see it through, even though it's so controversial and drastically different this season. They did my boy Labyrinth dirty, but
Ugh, I know. It's like so funny that everyone's like, the music sucks, and it's Hans Zimmer.
I know. Well, so I've been seeing edits to the scenes using Labyrinth's music, and it just changes it entirely. I really like the soundtrack this season because it is obviously Hans Zimmer, but Labyrinth is just so unique.
He's Euphoria.
I'll
watch it too eventually. It is like a sunk cost thing that like I've already watched 2 seasons. Might as well just watch the third.
Right. Well, apparently there's rumors too that the season finale was dubbed as or titled just as season finale and not series finale. So people are like, is there going to be a 4th season?
Zendaya and Jacob Elordi are not coming back. They look so uninterested in being a part of this TV show.
Well, yeah, they're like actually doing big things.
Yeah.
How about you?
We saw Mother Mary together.
Yes, praise be.
I've seen a lot of. I think I went to the theater 11 times this month.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
I saw. What was the last one? Well, I saw the new Devil Wears Prada.
Right.
Which, it was good. It was fine. I thought it was very topical. The like issue in it.
It's woke. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
So I don't think it's a spoiler. The issue is just like how journalism.
Breaking news. Journalism.
Journalism has changed a lot because it's just all on like the internet. No one's buying magazines or newspapers.
Oh yeah.
And
print is dead, baby.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm supposed to be celebrating. The print is dead. We did it.
Well, radio
killed the video store.
It's the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Instagram killed the magazine.
And Instagram killed the professional photographer.
Yeah. What else have we been watching? I saw the new Mummy.
Oh yeah.
I saw Hokum, which I loved. That was going to be this episode, but we didn't make it to the theater.
I will see it, and then we'll talk about it.
It's so good. Yeah, we could do a whole episode on it because I loved it so much. But yeah, do we just want to dive into forbidden fruits?
Forbidden fruits, yeah. Let's do it.
Woo! Drink.
Our drinks today are made with orange.
It's fruit. Okay, so forbidden fruits. What did you think of it?
I absolutely loved it. You told me I'd love it, and I did. It was so campy and funny and quick, and I haven't seen dialogue like this in so long. Just like so silly. I really liked it. I mean, obviously I can see how I wish maybe things actually, I don't know. I don't think I do wish things were different. I really did like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might give it a 4 out of 5.
I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 too.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I just love Diablo Cody. Like any movie she makes. Her literally, well, the Patreon exclusive episode is going to be Jennifer's Body, and that is like my favorite movie of all time, and it's very reminiscent of Forbidden Fruits, just like the vibes and everything. And Lisa Frankenstein,
Yeah.
and it's funny that you're like, I wish things were different. Were you thinking like the ending?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe the like post-credit scene or something being a little different, but it also gives room for potential
A sequel.
I
don't know. So part of me is like, this is gonna sound like kind of fucked up. Just like roll with me a little bit. That they did cast like known actresses as the fruits.
Yeah.
And if they are doing a sequel, is it just gonna be like, unless I'm just dense and I didn't recognize any of those girls?
You didn't?
I was like, wait, who are they? Like, it's funny that
no offense to this man.
Yeah. I don't know who he is. Like, I feel like if they were going to do a sequel, we would have been like, oh, we know them because they did that with like Gabrielle Union showing her.
No, that's so true. I think this is a one and done for sure. I don't know. I think thinking out loud, I'm realizing, no, everything was perfectly exactly how I would have wanted it to be.
Yeah. Well, we could dive into the plot.
Yes.
Okay, so the movie starts with Apple telling a man parked next to her to start jorking it.
Jorking it. Crazy
And
style.
he does. And the second that she makes the motion with her hand for the man to start masturbating, you said, oh, she is me. And I was like, she was you.
She's a little bossy, whatever.
Yeah. And then I was like, does that make me cherry?
Hey, that's not a bad thing.
It's not. And we like those fruits coincide with our months that we were born.
Our months that we were born.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after finishing the movie, I truly believe you are cherry and that I am apple. But it could be like a little blend. Like I'm like an apple sun with a cherry rising or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true. Well, while he's masturbating, she throws her hot coffee on his dick.
That is me.
And that's how she starts her day. And then
Yeah.
she says the iconic line that she threw her coffee on his dick, and Cherry goes, coffee latte. And she goes, latte. This is serious. But then we start to see that they work at a store called Free Eden, which is obviously free people.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole movie takes place in a mall. And we see that they are very serious about their jobs and scamming employees, scamming customers
Mm-hmm.
to get more money from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you relate? Ex-retail worker?
Ex-retail worker. Honestly, I feel like I scammed more when I was a food service industry worker, where I was like, oh, you really want to upcharge to this thing. And they're like, okay, that sounds good.
Like, I could tell you want an extra pancake.
Yeah, extra pancake. To be honest, I thought the setting of a mall was so fun because I feel like we don't get that anymore because also malls are dead
Yeah.
nowadays. And those were such obviously a big thing. Like we saw it a lot in like Stranger Things where like the mall era was like 80s, 90s. So being back in a mall setting was really fun and I thought added to the story in such a funny way because they had like shots of just like what stores were around, like Neiman Marcus, whereas at the end it was like Macy's, which is also like
Yeah.
kind of like a dying store.
That is so funny that you said that because while I was watching it, I was thinking about how watching movies from like the 2000s now and seeing like Wet Seal in the background. And I'm like, oh my God, that store doesn't exist anymore. I was like looking at Uniqlo and everything in the
Yeah.
background. I'm like, do you think that there's going to be a time where we're watching this movie again in the future and those stores don't exist?
Yeah, probably. American Eagle. Watch out, girl.
I think they're doing okay, unfortunately.
Oh.
I don't think that Sydney Sweeney thing really fucked them up.
Oh.
Like Aries opening like another like spin-off.
Okay.
Sorry about that news.
That's
Did
okay.
the mall look familiar to you?
I don't know why. It kind of
Yeah, that's my
did.
fun fact.
Oh,
the
this is
mall
a
is
fun-
familiar.
I would know it.
Yeah.
Was it the King of Prussia?
No, sorry, you've never
Oh.
been.
Oh, I've never been. Well, it took place in Texas.
No, so it's not filmed in Texas. It's filmed
Right.
in Canada. It took place in Texas.
Oh,
Texas has nothing to do with it.
right. Canada.
Canada really has nothing to do with it either.
But it
so
was filmed in Canada.
visually, the mall. Okay, so what movie did this remind you of? It had a lot of references to another movie.
Mean Girls.
Yeah, that's the mall that the mall scenes in Mean Girls were filmed at.
Oh, that's
So
so
like,
funny.
I don't know if it's actually the spot, but the fountain is
Yeah.
like, is that where she calls? And she was like, calling from Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I bet it was.
Yeah, and then it's like, obviously they said Gorgina George and you can't have sex on Wednesdays.
Yeah. There were so many like funny connections to Mean Girls in this that I absolutely loved. You
Yeah.
pointed out that like Pumpkin was kind of like the Katie Heron of
Yeah.
the group, and then obviously Cherry's Karen,
Yeah.
and Fig is Gretchen Wieners because she was like actually kind of smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really funny take on kind of like a girls' cult classic movie, even though they reference Mean Girls also.
I was trying so hard not to be like, that's the mall from Mean Girls while we were watching because I wanted to save it. Okay, so then we meet Pumpkin and she goes to the store where she meets Fig, Cherry, and Apple. But Fig tells her to come back the next day and apply for a job. And so when they meet Pumpkin, they do an interview and then they ask her what she's doing that night and they lead her upstairs to do a ritual cult initiation. And they make her confess her sins to Marilyn Monroe.
Iconic.
Yeah. In just the dressing room mirror.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah, I loved the Marilyn Monroe stuff. Obviously, like the pinnacle of womanhood to these
Yeah.
girls, which obviously true. Yes, icon queen could not have been controlled. I knew from the jump that we met Pumpkin that something was a little off.
You said it. You're like, I don't trust her.
I didn't trust her, but also I just felt like she was so overly confident. But then also I was thinking like, okay, if I saw this group of people that I really wanted to become friends with, wouldn't I just like go along with whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole ritual aspect of it. Like at first she was skeeved, like being like, is that blood? But then she takes a drink out of a cowboy boot.
She didn't even bat an eye.
No.
Yeah. There's like bone dust in it.
Bone dust. My favorite accoutrement to my cocktail. Yeah, what were your thoughts whenever this character was introduced? And
I related to her because I tend to be intimidated by people like Apple.
what?
or like just wanting to be included, or like looking at, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that's like, I just had a flashback to the first time we met, where I was like walking ahead of you and I stopped and I was like, I guess I'll walk
Alex,
with you.
that is not the first time we met. You were holding court at our freshman dorm. You were sitting and you had a bunch of little plebes around you. And you were like, we reside in Spear Hall, which means that come Halloween, we all shall dress as different versions of Britney Spears. And I stood in the background and I was like, that's my best friend.
And the gag is, I was straight.
Yeah. And I was like, that's a crazy thing to say.
It's a crazy thing to say as a straight man.
And then that's when we had class like the next day, and you were like, I guess I should walk with you.
Oh, dang. I really am Apple. But no, I could see you relating to Pumpkin, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why when you said that you were a cherry moon.
Rising, whatever.
Yeah, no, sorry. Apple, moon, cherry rising.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm a pumpkin. I think I'm a cherry moon, pumpkin rising.
You're a cherry sun.
Cherry sun.
Pumpkin rising. Apple.
I think I'm like I'm a double Scorpio. I think that Apple is a Scorpio.
We're messing up those signs though.
What do you mean?
So like you are a cherry sun.
Oh, yeah.
An apple rising and a pumpkin moon, because it's like internalized your pumpkinness.
Yeah.
Whereas I think I'm just like a triple apple.
Yeah.
Maybe a cherry somewhere in there.
Yeah, you're Alex, you're a cherry. You got cherry in there.
Oh, the Wednesdays.
Yes. I was gonna say you fuck. Sorry, you don't. So then they do the ritual and they tell her that she needs to confess to Marilyn in the dressing room. Mm-hmm. And while she's doing that, she hears that they have left her. Do you think that part of the ritual was leaving her for her transformation?
I do. I think that was intentional to see if she would sink or swim.
And she swam, baby.
Because they could have found her the next day and she could have been in her drab clothes.
Yeah.
And instead we got the iconic slow motion. See, I love a slow motion walk-in.
I don't think that was quite the outfit reveal I would have done.
No, it was giving, bitch, are you in Oklahoma?
Yes. Do I look like I'm dressed for Oklahoma?
Sydney Sweeney in the flesh.
We have brought up Euphoria, American Eagle, and quoted that. So after she does her outfit reveal, she is then told to do a test run in the store to see if she is worthy of being a sales associate, where we find out that these women are scam artists. They take a tablecloth, they drape it over a woman, they charge her $400 for it, but then Pumpkin proves that she is worthy. So they take her to a kiosk and they get her a bracelet, which all of the girls wear, with all of their fruits on them. Mm-hmm. What fruit would you be?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
So I guess it has nothing to do with seasonality, like their birthdays or anything like that. I'm trying to think because I love blueberries.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Bloob.
Yeah, either blueberry or pineapple, because I like pineapple in my cocktails.
Yeah, that's not as cute of a name.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would I be? Banana.
Banana, because you're so long and skinny.
I'm so skinny. You can't even see me.
Yeah.
Banana.
Banana.
And when I get old, I just get sweeter. And you make me into banana bread.
Even though you just like let yours turn like rotten.
I saw a TikTok and it was someone holding like the most shriveled banana. It was like this big, like black and like rock hard. And they were like, time to make banana bread.
That would be you if you were a banana. Banana's cute.
Yeah.
Banana and blueberry.
I don't know. Wait, I'll think about it.
Okay, let me know.
Banana.
What was another fruit you love?
Like passion fruit. I know. I'll stick with banana. Okay. She gets her bracelet, and then they go back to the store. What?
Lemon.
Is that me or you?
I love lemon.
And you're Sicilian. And you're a lemon-stealing whore. If you know, you know.
Throwback.
Debbie Does Dallas. We have to bring up like a porn in every podcast. Okay.
I don't know if I know the title of that one.
I think it's Lemon Stealing Whore.
Oh, okay.
Is it not?
I don't know.
Okay, so then we are back at the store where we see a mysterious woman banging her head against the glass, and they're all like, code dill, code dill. That's my walkie-talkie.
I love it.
And we don't know what that is.
That was spooky.
Yeah. And I do believe this happened before that, but I wrote it backwards, that we see that Pumpkin spots a Jane Does stand and buys a doll with binoculars, and we later find out that that doll can record.
Yeah.
Is Jane Does a real doll?
Breaking.
I'm like, that was like a
question.
genuine, is that?
Jane Does. I've never heard of a Jane
I
Does
haven't
before.
either, but then why does Jane
don't?
Is that a spinoff of Jane Doe?
That might be it.
Because when I saw it, I was like, that has to be a real doll, and that has to be Jane Doe's inspiration.
Yeah.
The doll that does everything.
Right. And Jane Does is kind of like, obviously like Barbie, but...
Yeah. Maybe it's not a real doll. I don't think it is. But anyways, she gets one of those dolls, and she brings it to the girls, and they start to call her Marilyn. Okay, so then much like in Mean Girls, we start to see cracks in Cherry and Fig, just like we did in Gretchen and Karen. Cherry says that she has therapy on Wednesdays when she's really going to get dicked down in dressing rooms by food court boys. And that is where your Cherry Rising comes in.
Right.
Yeah.
I love food court boys.
Because the second that one of those boys appeared, you went, oh, he's cute.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, give or take a couple words. And then the crack and Fig that we see is that she has a boyfriend named Norman who works at Yeast Garden.
Yum.
Yeah, yum. And so Pumpkin is the one finding all of this out. And when confronting Fig, she finds out about the ex-employee Pickle. Pickle was the pumpkin before Pumpkin came into the picture. Yeah. And then Apple stumbled upon Pickle and a man named Ashton hooking up in the dressing room where she was supposed to be talking to Marilyn. And then she tricked the girls into doing a hex. And I don't think they knew they were doing it, because why would Pickle be involved?
Right.
I don't know what they thought they were doing. They were all dressed in black saying, I curse you, snake,
Yeah.
and pouring wax on a black boot.
Yeah.
But so they do that, and then Ashton falls into a coma, and Pickle goes crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think the hex worked, or do you think it was just coincidence?
That's such an interesting question, because as soon as all that happened, even throughout the whole movie, because obviously this hex is performed again and again, things happen, and it's one of those kind of, I feel like, film tropes where you're like, is this happening because of these characters' actions, or is it just happenstance that things are going wrong?
Yeah.
I would think, I want to believe that, I mean, I'm an Apple stan, that there is some power there, that she is kind of in control, but in other instances she's been really shocked when things are going a little wild, but maybe she's just shocked at her own power.
The hex is working.
Yeah.
I'll admit, when I first watched it, so I saw it in theaters and then we just rewatched it for the podcast. When I first watched it, I thought it was all coincidence and she actually didn't have any powers.
Right.
But she was like claiming them.
Right.
As her powers.
I thought that there was going to be a reveal that, like, she did slip something into Ashton's food or drink.
Because we know she's capable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that yet. She poisoned her dad.
Yeah.
And that kind of comes out in bits and chunks through Cherry's loose lips.
The ones on her face.
Yeah. So after that, we then see Pickle out in the mall. Pumpkin starts following her, and Pickle leads her into American Eagle.
Yeah.
And Pickle starts saying something along the lines of, she's dangerous, run, she's dangerous. And then Pumpkin leaves her, and Pickle goes, no.
Yeah. So have we talked about the fact that Pickle is Emma Chamberlain?
Pickle's Emma Chamberlain? I know, that's kind of crazy. Like, is this her first acting role?
I don't know. Isn't every role she does an acting role, really? Who really is Emma Chamberlain?
I don't know, I never watched her.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked to see, like, another familiar face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone was so familiar that the other girls, the flowers.
Yeah.
I just don't see a sequel. But maybe it's new faces.
Yeah. Fresh talent, fresh meat.
Yeah. So then next we see that Pumpkin has placed her recording Jane Does doll into the place where they do the seances and hexes and everything.
The dressing room.
The dressing room. And then we see that Pumpkin is talking to Sharon, who is the store manager who was sent recently.
Right.
But we never see her face. She's a faceless character, but we hear her voice.
Like the
Was it?
secretary in the
Was
Powerpuff
it?
Girls.
Yeah. Was her voice recognizable to you?
Yes. So at first I saw her hand and I was like, okay, that's going to help me narrow it down. And then her voice sounded so familiar, but I just couldn't place it. I was not expecting it, at least.
I did not think that she was gonna come into play. I did not think that like us not seeing her was part of it. I thought it was just like funny that
Like a guy.
there was like a overseeing thing, and like I thought it was like taking away the power that these girls had from the store. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's
because she got placed in the store as like the manager after the pickle incident.
Yeah.
Like corporate sent
yeah,
her.
like HR.
Yeah.
So then we see that she is talking to Pumpkin, and it is overheard, or Apple thinks that Pumpkin might be being fired by Sharon because she did not fold chinos correctly.
Yeah.
And
Which they're really hard to fold.
retail boy.
Yeah.
What's a chino? Pants that get tight at the bottom.
Sure.
Isn't that?
I don't. Is it the same for like men's?
I'm only
clothes
thinking
and
of
world?
men's chinos. I don't know.
Is a woman's chino like a capri?
Like the pants that Cherry was wearing the whole time.
Maybe.
Because she said she was like they're shorter at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Pumpkin did not fold those correctly. And so Apple thinks that Sharon is firing her because of that. And so Apple then says, we need to do a hex on Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
And thus, they go upstairs to the dressing rooms, and that Pumpkin is told to put a black outfit on because it is time for the hex.
Yeah.
And while they are doing it, Apple is talking about who the snake amongst the group is, which lots of religious references.
The
in
whole
this.
thing is.
Yeah.
Eden.
Apple.
Lilith is also technically
Snake. Yeah.
Snake.
Snake. That there's a snake in the group, and she's trying to figure it out. And through this, Pumpkin mentions Pickle. That she said, like you did to Pickle, they're doing a hex.
Yeah.
And so that is when Apple starts to be like, there's a snake in the group. Who told you about Pickle? Then the next scene, we see Pumpkin and Fig talking to each other out on the second story of the mall. And in the background, we see Pickle step over the balcony and leap to her death, which the girls associate that to the hex they did to Sharon. But because they switched to talking about Pickle, they think the hex was misfired.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think Pickle just did it, or do you think it was part of the hex?
I'm trying to think, right? Because the whole thing with the hex is to weed out the snake. Like, we condemn the snake amongst us or whatever. I guess if we're to believe as a viewer that this is actual, like, witchcraft and working and this hex is working, I'm trying to understand kind of the, like, mechanism of the hex, right? Is it whoever they're talking about because they switched to Pickle? Or is it because Pickle was still around and betrayed Apple?
Was she the snake because she did tell
Pumpkin
to run?
Right. Does Apple know that they spoke?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So then maybe that is the magic system.
Yeah, but Sharon is truly deep down the ultimate snake, which you think then if that was
right,
it would hit her.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess because it's whoever Apple views as the snake. Like, she needs the information. That's why she thrives off of secrets and, like, unattractive qualities whenever you're talking about certain things. So, yeah, I guess if I believe that the hexes work, then yes, I believe that Pickle was the intended target because that was who was threatening Apple at the time. I think it's really interesting because that's really, like, Pickle was, like, the final thread being pulled that the girls really start to look at Apple and are like, oh my God, you're the problem. Kind of similarly to how that happens in Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Where they start to turn
Ostracize
on Regina, that then leads her to kind of like publish the burn book.
Yeah.
So then Apple in turn starts to realize that she might need to take out her own girls. So then she calls for another ritual.
She does. Another paradise meeting? Is that what she calls their meetings? Paradise?
Yeah, we're going to paradise.
Yeah. So they call a meeting, an emergency paradise meeting, where they go and we missed the scene of the cupcakes, icing by Ina.
Yeah. It's like a peace offering.
Yes. So Apple comes to, I guess, like, what is it? The
break room. Yeah.
And brings a bunch of cupcakes and makes all the girls eat them. But then Pumpkin, it's so hard to keep all these like fruit names separated. So Pumpkin eats her cupcake and immediately starts throwing up and accuses Apple of poisoning her, which is a direct reference because she found out that Apple poisoned her father. And so she thought that was happening to her. And we also see that Cherry brought her cat Shirley Temple to the mall, and it is her only family member that she has left because her whole family died in a fire.
And the only reason she survived was because she was sleeping with another food worker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
which
saves the day.
she had like a monologue in the dressing room while she was confessing to Marilyn Monroe, which a part of me thinks that she knew that Jane Doe's doll was recording.
Because she brought her specifically into the confessional room.
And looked directly into that camera. That monologue was so good by Victoria Pedretti.
She was so good in this.
So good. Such a different character than I've ever seen her play, but that monologue like aspect of her acting came out and the way she would like in Haunting of Hill House and stuff like that. And the shots during that scene were so good and just so like allegorical to her as a character because of like the mirror behind her was blending her reflection to be like ripped apart.
What?
Ripped apart? Because like she doesn't really know who she is, like she never really has a place, she's so lost. I just thought it was so beautiful.
So something about that scene that I love is she ends up standing up. She is sober and she ends up drinking alcohol again, and she takes a sip, but then she stands up and pours the alcohol on herself and holds a lighter to it. But what I love is that the shot cuts off her head, like her forehead, and it's such a weird thing to see, like
I agree,
this framing of a person. And I'm like, I just love that. I liked that the focus was her dumping the alcohol on herself.
I thought it was really interesting during that specific moment too, because right before she hits the alcohol in her chest, the lighter goes out. Yeah. And I was like, did she let go or did it blow out? Like, is that
like Marilyn protecting her or something?
Yeah, or like even the hex, like, it's not your time yet.
Yeah.
Like Apple needs to do
but
it
it's soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, not fire, girl. Something else.
And also then like flash over to the dressing room while Cherry, Apple, and Pumpkin are setting up for the Paradise ritual meeting. We see Pumpkin drinking her hot tea, soothing her stomach after she got sick from the cupcakes. Looking at Shirley Temple in her carrier case, which is one of those like see-through globe things with like holes at the top. And she's walking towards poor little Shirley Temple, and it looks like she's about to pour her hot tea inside the carrier case, which prompts Cherry to scream. And I just think that that's so interesting to kind of see this side of Pumpkin, because that was so out of nowhere, this like kind of like evil side, which we find out later that Apple and Pumpkin are actually half sisters. And I think that's like a funny nod to kind of like, I don't know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They share a father. And maybe there's this kind of evil side of Pumpkin the whole time. Yeah.
And showing like that she's capable of what her initial original plan was, moving here and trying to get a job at the mall.
Yeah.
So that then leads to their very last minute emergency Paradise meeting where they're all back up in the dressing room, and Apple says there is a snake amongst us and we must make a sacrifice to Marilyn Monroe. She pulls out a meat cleaver and says that we need to kill Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Shirley. She lives. She doesn't die. But then in that moment when Cherry is like, no, not Shirley, Norman storms in. Fig gets up. And he was like, what's going on? We're late for Ed. Or no, he calls her Erin. Is that her name? Emily. And they're all like, is your name fucking Emily?
So funny. Which honestly like blew my mind too, because I was so like whatever going along for the ride at this point and convinced that each of these girls' names were the fruits.
That's funny. I thought they were nicknames. So that's why I thought she was so shocked, which granted that is the character, that it was a nickname. But when she was so shocked, she was like, your name's Pumpkin? Like I thought they were all just like fake names.
Right.
But then I guess because we find out that Apple and Pumpkin are sisters, maybe the dad like naming his kids fruit.
Right.
Did you think pumpkins were fruit? I guess they are.
I don't know. I never really thought about them as fruit. It's like the tomato.
Wait, are they though?
That's why Cherry was trying to tell us.
But like our root, or they're not root. What are they?
They grow on a vine, like a tomato.
What's the?
But so do grapes.
The family of squash.
I don't know.
Like, is a squash a fruit?
You're the vegan.
I'm letting my vegans down.
It's like tomato versus grape versus pumpkin, I guess.
Yeah.
Zucchini, they're all vine fruit.
I feel like.
But they grow out of the ground. Because the vines come out of the ground, but so do carrots. That's a vegetable.
So do watermelon.
Watermelon.
A case to crack after the pod.
We'll get down to it. Don't you worry.
So they find out her name is Emily, and then Cherry quickly grabs the cleaver off of the table and hides it behind her back. And she gets up and trips on a bunch of clothes and like smashes the cleaver into Norman's face. And then she's like, I tripped. But like, what was her goal?
That's what I was
Running
thinking.
towards him with the cleaver anyway.
Right. I'm thinking her intention was no matter what to
Kill
kill
him?
Norman.
And she's like, I tripped.
Yeah, that was such a good moment.
It was.
Cause like at the end of the day, she's not gonna let her only family die, which was Shirley Temple, the kitty cat.
Norman wasn't a threat to Shirley.
No, but if they didn't have a sacrifice, it was gonna go back to Shirley.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I think it plays into that trope of, was this intentional or was it an accident type, like with that magic too.
Yeah.
Like
it's fucking everything up.
Yeah, like would that have happened anyway, or was that her intention to make happen?
Yeah, because they did complete the hex before that happened.
Mm-hmm.
They did all do the
Right. They
thing.
condemned the snake.
Yeah, but
And-
Norman wasn't the snake.
No.
Maybe it was just like
To be quite
ruining
honest,
everything.
the snake, this whole thing is controlled by Apple, and the snake will always be whoever's threatening the peace
Yeah.
that she has created.
yeah.
All she wants is loyalty. All she wants is people who revere her, trust her, feel like family that she never had. I'm Apple. I'm just kidding. I have family and I love them.
You start like shaking and crying. So then Norman gets stabbed in the face. Emily / Fig. Then he runs out. She chases him. He does make it away in an ambulance. I think he lives. It was
Yeah.
just like right here.
Yeah,
you don't need
superficial.
all that. So then everyone's screaming, everyone's freaking out. Pumpkin storms out and she's trying to call her mom. She's trying to get out of the mall, but all of the doors are closing because there's a tornado coming. So there's storm doors, I guess, closing. So she's trapped. Apple has a wardrobe change, which she changes into a shirt that says, "Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die," which is the name of the play that this movie was based off of. And actually the creator of the play helped write.
I love
script,
that.
yeah.
I love that fun fact. I was staring at the shirt the whole time, and I couldn't remember if that was a reference to Eve
Yeah.
or Lilith.
Oh, interesting, because her license plate says Lilith. She
Yes.
lives in that car.
Yes, because I like don't have all my facts straight, but there is like certain lore that actually the first woman was Lilith, but she refused to be less than Adam,
Slay.
and wanted all the power that a woman should rightfully have and wouldn't be subordinate, and so she has this relationship with Satan and eventually whatever, blah 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 blah, and then Eve comes. I also think that this was a really key moment too of the wardrobe change. She notices that Jane Does is a recording device.
Yes.
Which I love that.
Yeah. And so then she finds that out, confronts Pumpkin about it.
So she doesn't actually say what she discovered because they keep getting interrupted.
Well, because she goes, "Is this recording?" And then we see Cherry run out.
Yes.
And then I think Pumpkin gets away. She keeps
Yeah,
running.
she starts running.
To try and get to the exits. The like gates are closing. And then we see a confrontation between Cherry and Apple.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. It's so like modern Gen Z lingo where she was like, "Are you the main character or are you the victim?"
You're right.
And I'm like, I just love that. And then they start fighting. That's when Cherry comes out and is like, "You killed your dad."
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "So what?"
At least I'm not boring.
And then that is when Apple hits her over the head and tries to run away.
Lock her in the store.
Yeah, tries to lock her in the store. Cherry comes out. They have a kerfuffle on the escalator because you're not supposed to wear skinny stilettos on escalators.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the movie, we see that Cherry can't do anything because of her long nails, and I can so totally relate. I can't pick up anything.
Yeah. I don't have that
sucks.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess as you're talking, like kind of taking us through this, I'm realizing like, was the hex ever complete? Because Apple decided there needed to be a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Norman is fine. And so it's like now the hex is kind of running rampant. Is that rampant?
Yeah. I got what you meant.
And in that moment of their confrontation,
Confrontation.
in their confrontation, in the store, it's that moment that Cherry, I feel like, finally decides she's no longer a follower
Yeah.
of Apple. So Hex moves on.
Yeah.
Stiletto escalator.
Or you do a hex, you don't complete it properly, there is a lot of bad repercussions, which just reminds me of our Patreon exclusive episode that we're about to do, Jennifer's Body.
Oh, yes.
A incomplete ritual backfires and produces something else. I wonder if they didn't complete the hex, they didn't do a sacrifice to Marilyn, if Marilyn's like, you all die.
Yeah.
Because you all die.
You sound like Donald.
Do I?
Yeah.
Wait,
You all die.
not what I was going for.
She's more like, you all die, Mr. President.
Okay, yeah, that she does that. So then we're back on the escalator. Cherry's shoe gets stuck.
Yeah.
I need to do a compilation of the long pause I take thinking of all the fruit names before I say that. It's so hard to keep it all straight. Cherry gets stuck on the escalator. She can't get her shoe off. She finally gets her shoe off. She's running up. She trips. She falls. She smashes her face. She's all bloody. Her hair gets stuck. She can't get out. A pot falls because the windows are shattering above. The wind knocks over the pot. It hits the escalator. It opens it up. She gets sucked into the motors and crushed and destroyed, and blood is sprayed all over.
Yeah. In between some of that, there's a moment where Apple is threatened by, if you don't do XYZ, I'll tell everyone what you did to Pickle. And that snaps her into action because she's watching this all happen to Cherry, and she goes to help Cherry. But does she try to help Cherry?
I don't think she does. I think she just wants the bracelet.
She slips that bracelet right off her wrist.
But then we see it in the escalator. Did she throw it back?
So was that the bracelet or her gold chain necklace?
I thought it was the bracelet.
I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either.
Yeah. So that was like another one of those moments where I'm like, did she or didn't she? Was she trying to help or was she not trying to help?
Yeah. I don't think she was. I think she panicked for a second, but then was like,
right.
No.
Which, like, this is kind of reminding me, too, like, as these, like, very ridiculous deaths start happening, we kind of get, like, an ode to Final Destination, right? It bounces to the next person, which we realize is unfortunately going to be Emily Fig.
Emily Fig. The glass shatters and lands right on her head and cuts her in half.
Right, and I knew something was about to happen because as she's running away at first, she slips on Cherry's blood and gets up and is like, woof, that was close.
Yeah.
And then we watch her entire brain and skull get severed by this piece of glass in front of Pumpkin and Apple.
And I'm cracking up because when this movie started and it was just like retail workers being like, fold those pants right. You were like, how does this end with everyone dying?
Right.
Because when I saw it, you asked, you're like, can I just know if Victoria Pedretti dies? And I'm like, she does. So after Fig dies, then it is just Pumpkin and Apple left. And Apple is like, let me bathe you in the water, which is also like a baptism. She was like leaning her head back in the fountain. Yeah. The fountain that I'm pretty sure is the one from Mean Girls.
Oh, yeah. It kind of looked
I'm
like
going to look
it
up
now.
pictures when I'm editing this and see. So if you're watching, I'll probably put pictures up. If you're listening, you'll have to find out for yourself. So then they're in the fountain and Apple is braiding Pumpkin's hair and they find out, or Pumpkin reveals that she knows that they are half sisters, and we find out that Apple knew all along and was like, when'd you find out? And then they sort of get into a tiff about Pumpkin thought her father was a good father, while Apple was like, you had full Thanksgivings, he left us to starve.
Yep.
And she's trying to justify her killing her father. Pumpkin is not happy with it. They start fighting. Apple strangles her to death.
Yeah, they have like quite the kerfuffle. There's a moment that also then puts a spotlight maybe on Pumpkin's like true nature, where she pushes Apple. Apple cracks her head off the side of the fountain and is bleeding. And she turns around to like make sure she's okay, which is then when Apple gets on her and has like her strangulation monologue,
which was so well acted. I thought she crushed that monologue.
Crushed this role in general.
Yeah,
like, she did so good, because I feel like everything else we've seen her in, she's been like the bubbly, lighthearted blonde, and this was like a chance for her to lean into her mean streak.
Yeah.
What I like too is throughout this whole kind of like climax moment between the two of them in the fountain, Pumpkin has time to set up Jane does and record the whole thing.
You're right. How'd I forget that?
Yeah. Which, like, I guess Apple doesn't notice.
Which was shocking. I guess Apple just is in a different world right now because everyone's dying and she probably feels very powerful.
Totally. Yeah. She was kind of just playing in the fountain water while this was happening.
Which this movie references The Craft a lot.
Yeah.
That she was having her Nancy moment.
I
Different ending.
haven't seen The Craft.
Oh my God. Okay, we'll add that to the podcast. But
Okay.
she's having her Nancy moment, and
Find out what that means later.
yes, you will. And so after the monologue that she gives when she's strangling Pumpkin to death, my favorite part is she looks at the camera and goes, "Forgive me, Marilyn." What does she say? "Forgive me, Marilyn, for I have sinned."
Yes, you could tell you never went to Catholic school.
Well, is that how she says it? Is that exactly how she says it?
That's usually what you say whenever you're going to confession.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
I got all my sins in here, never confessed.
Yeah, that's why you're going to hell.
What would you confess? Like, what would you say?
What do you mean? In actual confession?
Yeah. Like, what have you confessed to?
Oh, when I was like little, because you do it when you're like 8 or 9.
What are the sins you're doing when you're 8 years old?
Yeah, it's like disobeying your parents, lying, whatever.
What's like the main thing you remember confessing?
Yeah, I like, you kind of have this pressure to make shit up so then you can say something.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say like I lied, I didn't listen to my parents, because those are the 10 commandments.
Yeah.
Obey your mother and father.
That's crazy.
Using the Lord's name in vain.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did I just do it? Is that? Did I do it?
Yeah, you did it.
Damn. Okay, well.
Anyway, forgive us, Marilyn, for we have sinned.
But then they would be like 10 Hail Marys.
Yeah, you get your like penance, which is like do XYZ.
And what is that? You just say Hail Mary 10 times?
Yeah, sometimes they
Literally just, is that I was going to say a poem. Is that a prayer?
Yes, it's like a whole thing. It's
Oh,
not just like
okay.
Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary.
I was like, that's crazy.
No. Hail Mary, full of grace.
Amen.
No, it's a whole thing, and I can't believe after like 20 years in Catholic school, I like barely remember it.
It's like 10 Hail Marys and...
A glory be. Throw one in there for razzle dazzle.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then you're absolved.
You never were like, I jerked off 14 times before I went to bed last night.
No. Would you?
No, I don't know. Like, so you didn't confess everything.
No. Because at that point,
Weren't you
when
scared
I was
of
fine,
burning
I just said
in
I
hell?
was 8 or 9.
Okay.
Doing this.
You said when you were in high school.
No, because like true religious nature, there's always like a back door, like loophole where like technically you have your last rites before you die, if you're lucky, I guess, because you could drop dead whenever, and you could just confess everything and then be absolved and get into heaven, baby.
I killed 14 people. I am the Zodiac killer. And then
What if
God's
that
like,
was one of us confessing?
getting girl.
Yeah, he literally, yes. You could confess the most heinous things on your deathbed and be like, okay, we absolve you, I guess.
Damn.
Anyway,
But I don't go to church and I burn in hell.
yeah.
So then Apple makes her great escape, and we see that she drives to Scottsdale, Arizona to go to a new mall where she did not bathe any blood off of her. She is still covered in blood. She gets a pumpkin spice latte, which is funny. Mm-hmm. Did you think that was funny?
I did. I thought that was a nice touch, and I thought it was a nice touch to show us where she was, because it said the state.
Yes. I thought that everything was very clever. They showed the changing seasons by changing the tags on the clothes, which I thought was funny. And it would say like spring and whatever. So we see that she goes to the mall and that they are opening a new free Eden store where we find out that instead of fruits, they are flowers. It's like bluebell and chrysanthemum.
Yeah, because the barista's calling out their names while they're grabbing their drinks.
So she follows them to the store, does not say a single word. The girls do not acknowledge that she is covered in blood. And she's just like, babe, I love your bracelet.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a job, babe? Mm-hmm. And then she invites her in. And the movie ends.
I thought Lily Reinhardt Apple's acting during that, which was just facial acting, was so good also, because like you can see like the wheels turning in her head.
She looked like eager.
Yes, and like she was like gonna get her power back. Yeah. Which is interesting because I obviously don't know. I love flowers, but I don't know what seasons those are. Yeah. But I can only assume that she's going to be like a winter flower to complete their cycle.
Cherry blossom. That's definitely spring.
Yeah. Chrysanthemums.
Her name's not Cherry. It's Apple. Apple.
Carnation.
So then there is a post-credit scene where we finally get Sharon's identity, and it is Gabrielle Union, and we find out that she is actually not sent from HR corporate, that she is an undercover detective that is following Cherry on suspicion of 2 poisoning deaths, and that she thinks that there is a cult and she knows exactly where she is, and implies that she's going to go to to find her at another free Eden. And she also finds the Jane Does doll and it has the footage of her killing Pumpkin. And that is how the movie ends.
Yeah. I thought it was. I think that one of the things we haven't touched upon too is like the 2 poisoning deaths and like the classic
Who was
poison.
the other poison?
Ashton.
Oh, so that is crazy that I totally did not pick that up.
Yes.
So it wasn't actually. It did.
Oh, interesting. That's a really good point. Actually, I didn't think about that because we were saying, was it the hex or was it poisoning?
Yeah, because they implied that they're like, we think that she poisoned Ashton, but they
Mm.
never said it. So I guess if she's under suspicion, it could be the hex, and they could just be saying that.
That's true because
yeah.
cops are always wrong.
Yeah.
But the classic trope of the poison apple, like she is the
Alex!
poison apple.
Good
My
catch.
brain is
Oh
so
my God, you're
big,
so smart.
big brain. Yeah, I loved that, and obviously the reveal of Gabrielle Union, is just iconic.
Yeah. So you said what, like 4 stars in the beginning?
I did. I think it's a solid 4 stars.
Yeah.
I
I wish I
think-
could remember what I gave it. I think 4 or 4.5.
Yeah, I just think it was so fun, and you know my criteria of my movie, 5 stars. Like I wasn't like emoting this.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna get like really, because I hate seeing pretty people die
Yeah.
and ugly people, but mostly pretty people. So I was really nervous because if you really think about it, Cherry's scene, Victoria Pedretti's scene was so brutal.
Yeah.
Like why did all those bad things just keep happening to
But
her?
then Apple's face, she was just like,
She was like disgusted that it was happening, which I
Like,
feel
that'd
like
be you.
I would be so mean.
I know. Okay, well, that was for that was Forbidden Fruits. Unfortunately, I couldn't find many fun facts about this because it is a very new movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the shirt and that it was filmed at the same mall as Mean Girls.
Yeah, and those are very fun facts.
Thank you.
I think that it was a super great nod to just like all these fun movies and archetypes and tropes and other fancy movie terms and literary terms. That I just think the writing, the dialogue was so good.
It was so quick.
The one scene where they're like having their dance party and they all take a little like something and put it on their tongue. And I'm like, oh, what are they taking? And you were just giggling. And then the character asks, whoa, what are we taking? She goes, it's a sequence, babe.
It's a placebo.
So funny. That's so stupid.
I know.
Like stupid in like the best way possible.
Sequence, babe.
Yeah, so quick-witted. The acting was just so good. So good. Lily Reinhart crushed it.
Yeah. She said in like an interview that I was reading that she was very excited to embody that role.
Yeah.
That she was excited to bring that character to life. And she did a great job.
Did a great job. The fashion was great. The hair colors were great. Everyone did so good.
Well, that is it for episode 1. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching if you're watching. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.